Greetings, heroes and Force users of all ages. Welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. I'm Alyssa Simmons, and I'm joined today by my pal, Daniel Dawson.
Who, me?
You. It's
Me.
true. And today, we're talking episode 7 of the Disney Plus Star Wars series Andor.
Oh, yeah.
This is Announcement, directed by Benjamin Caron, written by Stephen Schiff, and by God, we're Star Wars fans.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
I am Iron.
I thought they smelled bad. On the outside.
Smells like a new car in here.
Inside the Tauntaun, this is our opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, Dino, talking nerd stuff, come along. Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.
Announcements. Do they ever do that in, like, I don't know, kindergarten?
School.
Yeah. Is that
Anytime
that
in school.
a common stupid school song?
I don't know that announcement song, but
What about clean up time? Everybody help.
yeah, the cleanup song is pretty
common.
universal.
It's a pretty common one.
Pretty universal. I can't say that the announcements song was part of my childhood
Repertoire.
experience. But
In your portfolio of songs.
it's not.
It's not.
in there.
It's not.
It's not.
How are you? Are you good?
Good.
Since last I saw you, like, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we recorded. We're getting in the habit now of doing 2 episodes in a row.
Oh my gosh, it's very overwhelming. Ooh, woo, woo. There's just so much nerd content.
Yes,
We're not
It's a
complaining.
good time. Good time to be a nerd.
That's right.
Daniel and I were at a wedding together.
A
with one
wedding. We were
another.
not wed together, but
a wedding, hooray!
ting-a-ling.
A wedding.
That only took us like
How
less
gay?
How gay? It took us less than 5 minutes this time. The last time it took us like 45 minutes to get in our musical reference.
Yeah, we got it. We got the first one. That was Drowsy Chaperone. For
Yes,
those
it
of
was.
you who do not know.
A wonderful show, by the way. Very, very.
One of the greats.
Yeah, I think. What's the word? Not underestimated. It's not understated. What's the word?
Underappreciated.
Yeah, it's an underappreciated show. It's really good and quite sad.
It's
too.
very funny. It's really well written, and yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
You've heard the.
Anywho, we were at a wedding with each other yesterday for our special our recurring guest host Luke Monday.
Yes, our dear friend Luke Monday and
Yes.
JD Dumas.
Yes, JD and Luke got married yesterday, and that was great. But yeah, it took us, approximately 2 seconds to find some other nerdy friends who were big, like, Game of Thrones peeps, and I just love that. I love that wherever you go, you can just, like,
You find the nerds. They're
Find 'em.
there. They're always there.
they're there.
Yeah.
They're there.
They're there. Yeah, a friend of mine, or not, he was a new friend at this wedding. He, in passing, was just like, "Oh yeah, how many lightsabers do you have?" I was like, "Oh, he said, "Do you have a lightsaber?" I was like, "I have 3, sir."
Yeah. Me too. Now I have 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have my Yoda FX replica. I have my one that I made in Batu,
But 2.
and then I have my Leia, my new Leia.
Yeah, that one's like legit.
It's so pretty.
Very nice. That's what you call a
but-
nerd flex.
Yeah. How many sabers do you have?
Yeah, how many fucking sabers do you have?
But shall we talk about
Andor.
the Andor? Just one of the best Star Wars we've had in such a very long time.
Damn it. Well, okay, first of all, before we do anything, we
Okay.
need to mention, because you weren't here for the last episode that we talked
I
about.
wasn't.
Me and Dano.
I wasn't.
Yeah. So
Y'all talked about episode 6.
we did. So, just to put a cap on your conversation, the lesbians survived. Both of them. Both
They
of them.
did.
And they
Yeah, can you
still
put-
survived.
They still survived. into this episode.
Even now.
So I've got to say, good job, everybody.
Well,
I'm
we're-
sorry that I had a freak out.
Yes, we're gonna
I
knock
still
on
might
wood.
freak out. I still might freak out later.
There's still room. There's still room.
But I
Because
do
chances are
appreciate that
most
you
of these
didn't.
people aren't gonna be around.
Yeah, this is true. But I do appreciate you not killing them immediately after after mentioning, but not really mentioning that they're gay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a little more
You
clear though.
hinting. Yeah. No, definitely very, very much more clear. And their
Yeah.
scene with each other where it was like, tender and like,
Yeah.
please don't die.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely they they don't have like a makeout session or anything like that, but it was very clear.
Yeah.
It's
What
like,
was
these
was
are
her line? Her line was like, tell me you're gonna be okay.
yeah, which was very tender and sweet and
Yeah.
like I think that like
No, thank you. Thank
even
you.
the
Thank
stupid
you to
people
the
out there, you're like, these
creators.
people love each other.
That's fine. Yeah. If you want to think that they're roommates or sisters or whatever,
Sisters,
that's fine.
we're close.
We're close.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Second.
Seconds. Yeah. So I will say I said in the episode before, I said I'll eat my words if they don't do what I think they're going to do.
Yeah,
So
it was very.
There you
I was
have it.
excited for it. I'm truthfully surprised and thrilled.
Yeah.
Surprised and thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't
So,
shouldn't speak too soon.
Yeah, let's talk about this episode.
General thoughts.
General thoughts.
What do you got?
Shall I begin?
Yeah,
Shall I begin
I
the
feel like I
generals?
always talk first because I just like my brain fires like so fast, and I'm just like my thoughts.
Yeah. I liked this episode. I didn't think it was like nearly as thrilling and goo goo gaga as the Eye.
No,
But
it
you
was,
can't have every single episode be thrilling goo goo gaga.
Yeah, because you wouldn't appreciate it.
So I thought it was good. I thought
This is more about like compelling scene work.
Yes, I loved the whole the dinner party scene with Mon Mothma
Fucking
and
love
her
that scene.
her like old childhood friend and like
Mhm.
her kind of involving him now in the
The
rebellion, but
banker
not
friend.
really telling him exactly how he's involved, but she was able to get him to kind of confess to his politics being quite liberal.
Yeah.
And he wasn't sure how she would react to that. I thought that there
She's
yeah,
giving me
that whole
she's giving me major derp Queen Nabidala vibes or Senator
sure.
Senator Nabidala.
Senator.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Like because she's like using her political sway and she's using her resources, her friends and her
Yes.
like maybe like she even flirts with other people.
Mhm.
It's very I love it. It's so compelling.
yeah, loved that. Thought the scene work with when Cass goes back home to talk with his mom
Oh,
with
yeah.
Marva. I
Mhm.
thought that was all fantastic.
Yep.
Amazing direction, amazing acting from everyone in this
These
episode.
are very specific general thoughts.
These are specific general thoughts. And that's kind of how we do it always
That's right.
without
That's right.
saying that we're doing that.
Mm-hmm. Specifically general.
Yeah. So generally, I enjoyed myself. I'm
Mhm.
still enjoying the show very much.
Yeah.
And I sort of assumed that we probably would be on a little bit of a down swing for this episode.
At least as far
not
as
in
action goes.
not in quality, but in just like storytelling, because that would be too much to have it every episode be like the Eye.
Yes. Well, and I think that we've kind of we sort of talked about this on the last episode with Dino, but and maybe we talked about this the last time before too, but so far because we've gotten what seems like 2 story arcs and they're going like in 3 episode chunks. So we have like a beginning, a middle, and an end of like little stories. And the 6th episode was a very cathartic end to the like second trilogy within this series. And now we are back into the beginning of and it's like the fallout from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, assumedly, and yeah, it's every single episode, other than the third and the sixth, have been like they've ended like very abruptly, and it's just like, that's the end of the
what is
episode.
this?
That didn't
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like an
yeah.
end. That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. Every episode has like gone to the credits, and I'm like,
Huh?
oh,
Why
oh,
now? Why
eh.
now? Yeah.
Yeah, but it does. I mean, it says something for leaving us wanting more.
Yeah, which
We're
I
always like,
love.
yeah, I don't ever finish an episode of this series and say like,
Oh, thank God it's over.
oh wow, that was maybe like 3 or 4 minutes too long.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Um,
never have I ever said that so
kind
far.
of how we felt about Bad Batch, where we were just like,
yeah.
I mean, we still had a fun time, but it was just
Yes,
like
absolutely.
we were like, could this show have been
A wee shorter.
four episodes only?
Maybe.
Probably.
I'm
But,
excited for season 2 though.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope they. I can't say that I'm like excited.
Sure.
I'm going to watch it. I'm sure I'll
Yes.
enjoy it, but I'm not like it's not on my calendar or anything.
I feel that.
So yeah, those are my generally specific.
Generally specific.
What are your generally specific
My
generals?
general specifics. Well, if we're gonna be a super fucking general, I obviously loved it. And it was great that I loved it for not different reasons, but just like for a lot of the same reasons though. Like it's just like generally acted so well, and the dialogue is delicious. I don't use that word lightly. Like it's yummy to listen to. Like I like even in the scenes where like I'm finding myself like rooting for characters that are in the Imperial, like, you know what I mean? Like they're like it's weird because like
Oh yeah, that was like probably the most. I left out my most like probably thrilling scene of that episode, but we'll talk more about it later.
yeah, and our more
Which is
specific generals.
Yeah, and the more specific generals. That's the second segment.
Yeah,
Specific generals.
it was just yeah, there was a lot of really just good scene work. Like a lot of them just like two characters like hashing things out, which like, you know, when you're thinking about like a Star Wars show, you're like, oh, that sounds like it would be really boring, but it was like far from it. Like yeah, you know, in a Star Wars show, you're thinking, okay, give me pew pew and give me like a cool lightsaber action, baby bap, but none of that here, and I am very much enjoying myself, which is like I you know, I think we're all of us Star Wars fans are finding out new things about ourselves. We're like, wow, I didn't know that I needed or wanted this. And yeah, because I think I've said this on this show before, but I don't think that I wasn't generally, I mean, I was, you know, I'm always excited about new Star Wars content, but this one was not like at the forefront of my excitedness. I was like, you know, this will be fun to see, but it doesn't seem necessary for it to be there. Like, you know, like I feel like, you know, Cassian's story has already been told, but like we're good. But I'm thrilled so far, absolutely thrilled, and yeah,
it's fun. I was thinking about just this series within other Star Wars now, and it's like it's gonna be so fun for like our May the 4th celebrations, because I'm gonna want to watch this series into Rogue One.
Oh, easily.
To A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like that's now gonna be part of my May the 4th experience, because I loved Rogue One so much.
Yes.
So now to have all of this prior to Rogue One it's really fun.
And the fact that it fits so well too is cool.
Yep.
I mean, sure,
and to just sort of like feel that weight going into A New Hope.
It all, yeah.
Going into A New Hope, like of all of this stuff and like everything that the rebellion had already had to go through to get to that moment.
Mon Mothma's one line.
Right?
A lot of people died for this, you know. It's like
gonna mean something, yeah, so different. So
the stakes are ever so high. Um,
They are.
but yeah, I don't know what else to say generally about it, other than that, because we found ourselves talking in circles in the last episode because we're just like, we love it, we like it lots, it's
Yeah.
great. How many different
How many different ways can we
adjectives?
say that? Sure.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
But yes,
One of the stars of the show who I just am loving so much
Yeah.
is the actress who plays Dedra Miro,
yeah, so great.
Denise Go, and
She is
she
yummy.
yeah, just every like I'm so fascinated by every part of that character.
She's well, I mean, she's wonderfully acting it. Obviously, but even the character is written well because I
Yeah,
love that.
that's what I mean. Like the like her whatever like guy trying to like throw her under the bus.
Yeah.
Or
And she's
then
like, "Oh, you're gonna try to throw me under the bus? Just hold my beer, hold
yeah,
my imperial
that scene
blaster."
was amazing, and I just loved so much of that, just like swinging back and
Oh
whacking him in
man,
the face. And
it was
I mean, even then,
beautiful.
she's proud of herself. And they go out into
Blevin,
the hallway.
Blevin,
Blevin,
yes,
yes,
Blevin, and then
Blevin,
Partagaz.
yes.
I enjoy him a lot too. Like
Oh, he's
his
great.
delivery is wonderful. He like doesn't. He's like an actor who doesn't care about periods or commas. Like and you know, sometimes like, you know, a lot of times a writer will be like, I put that period there for a reason, so please use it. But like he's just like, no, I'm gonna do this because this is the rhythm that I speak,
Yeah,
and it fits so well, and it's
yeah.
so great. Because it just it makes sense for a guy who has to like rattle off so much like red tape jargon that it would just come
Yeah.
off so like it's really good. I love it.
Yeah, I loved his hallway scene
Yeah.
with her.
Watch your back.
Where where you're like you think that he's about to just be like, all right, let's go, like
Down
let's
to
make
business.
this happen.
He's like, good job.
But he's
Watch
just
your
like
back,
he's
bitch.
like very, very good. Watch your back.
Yeah, it's good. Which is cool because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, that's clearly a foreshadow, like as to where it's headed for her, because, and it's gonna be kind of, I don't want to, Dino would be so happy to hear me say this, but it's kind of a tragic end for, because like
Sure.
she is clearly a, like had they listened to her. And because she's like seems to be the only one that like has
Is
an
actually
idea,
putting the pieces
putting
together.
the pieces together and like sounding the alarms. And I think that she's gonna, assumedly she's gonna be like, she's gonna be maybe not in the first season, but maybe, who knows, but she's gonna be like beaten somehow and probably internally. And they're gonna be like, damn, why didn't we listen to her? She was so smart. But yeah, I agree
another
with you.
big
She's fantastic.
another big juicy part of this episode was learning the backstory on Marva's husband.
Oh, right.
Who was murdered by the Imperial clone troopers.
Yikes. Yeah, very sad.
And her whole like, you know, I'm gonna stay here, and her whole period.
Her whole is just great.
No, it's her whole period.
But her scene with Cassian was so sweet. Just like, you know, I mean, it's not his mom, but kind of felt like it. It was just like
adopted mom, absolutely.
Yeah, his chosen family. He's like, you know,
and her, you know, saying to him too, like, please just stop looking for your sister.
Which is
like
total bullshit,
thing.
by the way. I'm actually curious.
Oh, she's around.
Yeah,
she's around.
I'm curious whether or not you think that she thinks that that's true, or if she's just saying that to protect him. What do you think?
I think she's trying to protect him.
Yeah.
I think
she knows. Well, maybe she doesn't know that she's alive, but she doesn't know that she's dead either. So she's just trying to, like, you know.
Maybe his sister is that Beezy who was in this episode.
Bitch, I did not even think about that. She totally could be his sister. The one in the red cloak,
right? Yes, the red like jacket vest.
What was her name again? Her name is not Clem.
I don't
But we also
know.
figured out who Clem was, which is interesting. Clea.
Yes.
Clea?
Clea.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting because he used the name Clem, and she's using the name Clea. I don't know.
Clea.
What's
I don't know. That just popped into my head right now. 'Cause I
That
was
would be
like,
fun. That would be fun.
we don't really know much about this other girl other
Yeah.
than the fact that she's involved in the rebellion.
And it would make
she's
sense that she would be.
and she's not afraid to just like frickin' kill whoever.
Yeah, and it's interesting too that like and it would be ironic that she like wants to kill her because she doesn't know that it's her
She has
brother.
no idea who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there'll be a moment. Oh, that would be cool. If it's not though, I'm sure they're gonna figure out another really great way to introduce her. But that is cute. I love that. If it does happen,
I
you
was
heard it
just
here
thinking, I'm
first,
like,
everybody.
Yeah, I just thought of that in this moment.
Oh
I
my
didn't think of it.
gosh.
Didn't
We
think of it
could
when
be
I was
breaking
watching
it here first. Exclusive content.
Everyone listening is like, yeah, we thought the same thing.
Yeah,
Alyssa,
you idiot.
shut up,
You stupid. Don't you even watch TikTok? What are you, stupid?
dumb girl.
Dumb, stupid girl. Why are girls so dumb? What was it?
She-Hulk. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk vibes. Something that I didn't realize in the moment, but I speaking of, watching TikToks and things like that, we saw a character that, I wouldn't say beloved because like kind of a random character from the original film, I should say, the first New Hope. Wolf Yularen.
Oh yeah,
is his name, but he's one of the Imperial officers that is like in the background, like he's sitting at the table with like Darth Vader and all of them when they're talking about, and when that guy gets like force choked for a second, he's like one of the other guys in the background. But
Got it.
we also see him in numerous cartoon episodes too. Like he's worked alongside like Obi-Wan and like back when like, they weren't the bad guys. So, but yeah, interesting to see him again in a new form. Why? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm really the way that this episode ended. We're jumping all over.
Oh,
the
I
place.
know. We're
Sorry,
bippity boppity booping so much.
The way that this episode ended, I'm like, I'm so just curious to how they're gonna get him out of this predicament.
Yeah, he's in jail now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
For-
he's been in jail before.
he has.
Yeah. And I think that because they keep on going back to that moment. Well, they went back to that moment a couple of times, like where he, he was with Clem, and Clem kind of like unknowingly sacrificed himself. He's going to sacrifice himself. He, and I
Not Clem. Who are you talking
wait,
about?
isn't
Not
it Clem? Am I going crazy? No, wait, what?
Clem is Cassian's secret name.
Right, but we find out in this episode that he took that name from the guy
you're
he
right.
used to
You're right.
know.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Unless I'm going insane, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. So it was the when they're going back in time and you see the
Yes,
young
and you see
Cassian.
the troopers and yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and
then assumedly he gets hung, which is like really fucking sad. And then we see Cassian like run after the troopers with like a freaking baton, like yeah. Assumedly that's how he ends up in jail for the first time, I guess. But then he gets out. And I'm curious if he broke out and I think we're gonna see maybe in this next episode we're gonna see some like going back and forth between like Cassian in jail like when he was a kid, and then Cassian in jail when he is now, and then
yeah. Oh, another like little nugget that we got in this episode was like the people of Ferrix and
I love nuggets.
chicken nuggets. The people of Ferrix and their response to like
the Empire's response.
The Empire like being back.
Yeah, they're
there,
not fond of it.
And how scary it is for them that they like were free of it for a while and now they're back like even stronger and like not like it's just real. It's real scary.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I'll say for I mean like even the Obi-Wan series, which like we broke down and everything, like we said there, like, we were like, this is the like one of the very few times that we've like truly been afraid of Darth Vader. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and like in this moment, like
There is a
I
true
really,
sense of danger.
yeah, I really feel that like fear from all of them. That
Yep.
it's like we had to fight so hard to get them out the first time.
Mhm.
Like, how are we going to get through this?
The stakes feel higher, and I think that's partly it's everybody that's working on the show. It's the writers, it's the actors, it's the director. There is a sense of danger that's palpable, and even in the scene where Mon Mothma is talking to Skarsgård's character, what's his name? I'm going crazy. Doesn't matter. But
yeah, when they're in the antique shop.
Yes, and she's like basically asking him like, was it you? Like, is the news like about what you did? And he is kind of like, oh, pussyfooting around, and then he basically alludes to the fact that it was him. And like you like hear her like shudder in her voice, like where she's visibly and verbally like terrified, like do you realize what you've done? Like she's like shuddering.
Yeah.
You can sense the gravity of what is like happening and about to happen, because she knows that like a lot of people are gonna. She even says like people are gonna suffer, and he's like, yeah, that's the point.
Well, yeah, and he had some great lines in this too about he's like holding that like antique weapon.
Oh,
and he's like
the monk weapon,
yeah. When he says like, no one ever built a weapon to not use it.
Right. Yeah.
And
which is
so,
interesting because it's very like that kind of is a also a reference to the Jedi, because they are peacekeepers that have these lightsaber weapons, but we're not supposed to use them, but we will.
Yeah.
And they do. But yeah, so very, very, very interesting. But yeah, you're right. It does feel like there is a sense of danger, and it like, yeah, these troopers, and they actually do feel like, dangerous. And oh my gosh, the scene where Cassian is on the basically in Florida,
on
planet
the,
Florida.
Yeah, the beach
resort
scene.
Yeah, that my God, the Imperial droid like basically like choking all these people, like and throwing them around like they're rag dolls. That
the KX units.
Yeah,
Scary.
I when he was walking up, I was like, oh, this is how they're going to introduce. But they actually
K2SO.
I don't think
no.
we're not going to see him. I think that they actually did a comic book series on how he meets him. So I don't know if we're really going to see that in this show, but maybe.
Got it.
But yeah, when he like mistakenly thinks that he's like, oh yeah, why don't you hang out with this guy? Or I can't remember what he says, but he says the word hang, so he like misunderstands and like tries to hang Cassian, and like he's like, no, that's not what he meant. Please, like, can you tell him? That scared me. I was like, oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Very, very spooky. Yeah, there's a lot of really good. Yeah, it's not just like we're not seeing like, oh, isn't it funny how the troopers can never like, shoot right. It's like, it's not like, oh, these guys are like, a dime a dozen, and like all you have to do is just swipe your lightsaber and like reflect their blaster shots, and they're immediately dead. It's like, no, these are like these are like, the brown shirts. This is like, scary, like Nazi, like spooky stuff. It's very spooky. It's good. It's good stuff. It's not good, but I mean, it is entertaining to watch. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me excited about Star Wars.
So where do you think they're going with Cyril? Like, what do you think's going on? What do you think's going on with his character?
That, like, honestly, like I'm seeing an interesting like Cyril and Cyril, because I said that Cyril, I think when we talk about this, I feel like Cyril was one of the characters I was most excited for, And I'm still on board with that because there's just so much mystery as to where his character is going. You can tell that there's this long arc that they're doing with him.
And who is his uncle?
Right.
Like,
who is the uncle?
Who is that guy?
Is that guy going to come back, or is that just kind of a little side thing? Very interesting.
I don't know.
Fact that he's like a mama's boy and he's got like he has like literal action figures in his like bedroom, like he
and he only eats that blue cereal.
Yes,
like
his little bantha milk. I mean, and he edits all of his, or he like tailors all of his clothes.
Yeah, that was brought up again.
Yeah, it is very, very interesting, and with the high neck situation, and there's interesting parallels between his character and your favorite character, which honestly she's probably one of mine too. I'm forgetting her name all of a sudden. We just said it.
We just said her name. Her name
Deidre.
is Deidre.
Or Dedra.
Yeah.
Dedra.
It's
Dedra. Yeah, there's some similarities between the two of them. Both kind of like recognizing something that everyone else isn't. And like, although Dedra seems to be being sort of listened to more, I think that somehow maybe the two of them are going to end up connecting at some point. Maybe.
Okay.
Either that, or maybe they're playing this long arc because like showing like how he eventually like loses faith in the Empire and like becomes a rebel. Potentially. I know that's probably a long shot because he seems like he's like super, dead set. It might also be like showing like how he eventually like sacrifices himself for the Imperial cause, because it's interesting. They're showing him like being like super isolated, like now that he's like working in a an Imperial cubicle, more or less. Yeah. And we see him like at the very end. It's the very end of the episode, right? Where that's like the teaser, I guess, of the episode is him like staring up at what we think may be like maybe a security camera, or like it just like he get like the sense that at least I felt when I was watching it is that like he knows that he's being watched kind of, and like looks up like to see that maybe. Which makes me feel like he's like not trusting his current situation. Maybe
right.
There, he's the Cyril I Want song is like it probably would have happened right there.
Yeah, right there in the cubicle.
Yeah,
for sure,
definitely. It was leading to that, but since this isn't a musical, they just ended the episode.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's a character that really with the series started out, we were like sort of thinking that he was going to be continued to be this through line, and maybe he is. Maybe like you said earlier, we just had to have the whole lead up to the eye, and that was like the second act. Now we're going into the third act, so we're revisiting characters from the first.
What are they up to?
Yeah,
he's clearly gonna be around. I definitely got very oh shoot, you haven't watched Severance yet, have you?
No.
Oh man, you gotta watch that show. It's so good. But yeah, his last moment felt very Severance to me. I don't want to. I can't talk too much about it because you haven't seen it. Okay. But and also I don't want to spoil it for anybody else that hasn't seen it because it is truly like a phenomenal show. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that then, I guess.
Okay, right.
But yeah, just the fact that like there's like old fashioned cubicles and old fashioned computers, and it has that kind of vibe where I don't really trust what's going on. Something else is like and like
something
I'm being surveilled and I don't like it. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, because the guy hiring him had that line about like, yeah, we want to get everything expunged from your record, but
right.
There is an opening in this position right like today.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose out on this opportunity.
I would hate for you to lose this opportunity. And he like the way he said it was kind of like Ugh.
Yeah, like as if you don't take this, it might be not good for you.
Right. Yeah. It was a little threatening for sure.
Yeah, I sensed that
w-
too.
Yeah, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but
Eh.
another thing that I back to that Mon Mothma scene where she's talking to her pal.
Oh yeah, her
Kolma,
banker friend, which felt a
her
little
old childhood friend.
flirtatious? Question mark.
I think they're just like old
Just
childhood
old friends, maybe.
They're-
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
I didn't get that sort of energy from it, but she had a line about
I was obsessed with that scene though. There was just so much
oh,
subtext,
so juicy, and every time she kept telling him to like smile,
yeah,
smile and laugh,
yeah,
smile and laugh. I was like, "Ooh, this
she
is
knows
so
exactly what
full
she's
of
doing.
tension."
Mm-hmm.
She had a line where she said that only 3 people know about her true allegiance.
Right.
So I don't know about you, but I thought for sure like Bail Organa is probably
that's a very likely
indirectly
candidate.
being referenced
Very
right there.
likely. Because I think that they even like. Wasn't there a? Am I crazy? Wasn't there like a cut scene where the two of them are like talking about it, like in episode 3? I feel like there was like an episode 3 scene that was initially cut, or not initially. It was inevitably cut.
It was
from,
cut.
Where Bail Organa is talking to like a group of people, and Mon Mothma is, and they're like talking about like they're like aware about.
Okay.
Not necessarily. I think it's kind of like the birth of the rebellion is kind of what it sort of feels like. Yeah, that kind of conversation.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting.
I'm really interested to see how this relationship with Kolma, and if he does, truly decide to help her out with the moving of the money around.
And I love that she doesn't like she's so calculated and so like she is so smart because she chooses to not really like fully
tell him about what's going on.
Yeah. It's really, really like I don't care how friendly you are,
the
but
the writing in that scene was just so
yummy.
So good.
It could have been
her
easily
line about the Mon Mothma that everyone sees is it's a lie.
Yeah, that's so fun.
It's an act, it's a charade, and it allows me to be able to do what I'm really doing.
Yeah.
And that whole concept of the rebellion being born in all of these like sort of different ways.
Yeah. It took a lot of pieces to move in certain directions for it to all work right. It's pretty cool, and it's neat to see that so much of the weight of the rebellion weighs on her shoulders. It's very, very, very cool. Like we didn't really give that one little character in A New Hope enough credit for what she did for the rebellion. It's like as far as like kudos to the writers, because they really that scene could have been like much cheaper and easier. Cheaper is not the right word. Cheap isn't like money cheap, but like I think you understand what I mean. Like it like they could have just easily had her just like tell him everything.
Could have been more of a snack and less of a meal.
Yeah, right. It could have just been like, this is it, and but don't tell anybody, whisper, whisper, and then ended the scene. But they made
it was just so it felt very very play like.
Yeah.
The whole like politician dinner moment. Her watching her husband from afar, who obviously like is just such a skis,
such a prick,
and
the daughter
the daughter as well, like coming
look
up
out
and
for this
like,
bitch. She is going to.
She's up to no good.
Yeah, I think that she's going to. There's going to be a betrayal of some sort.
Oh, yeah absolutely.
Because as we've learned from this show so far, that nothing goes according to plan. Like completely, at least. Like there's gonna be some wins, but there's definitely gonna be some losses, and I think her family dynamic is definitely on the chopping block.
Well, and that's just such a a heartbreaking thing too,
Yeah.
to have her like have to say to her childhood friend, like, you can't, like, don't say anything about this to my husband because he's not to be trusted.
Yikes.
What?
That's so
Like,
sad.
yeah. I mean, she
She can't
literally,
even
like,
trust her driver.
every part of her life is this calculated
I would never be able to
thing.
sleep at
Like,
night.
no, she probably doesn't.
Yeah, she's,
Like,
but she looks great.
she looks amazing.
She's got some amazing
She sleeps like in a Bacta tank.
I
or
was literally gonna
something,
say like
'cause-
some Bacta eye cream.
yes, Bacta Botox.
Yes,
Like,
she looks fabulous.
yeah, she just, I don't know. It's just such a fascinating idea too, and to watch it so obviously be weighing on her so heavily
Yeah,
in every aspect of her life and at home, like, to not even be safe to be open about what's going on at home because
Yep.
she knows that her husband and now her child are like can't be trusted.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just so juicy. Yeah,
very
it felt like
juicy.
it felt like almost Shakespearean, the way that whole scene was directed
Yeah,
with them walking through and like,
if they could somehow, because I mean, truly, I do love like I'm obsessed with the like almost comic booky feel of a lot of other Star Wars content that we've gotten so far, and and how epic and like thrilling, like, I mean, I will. I've said this before, but like some of the Mandalorian episodes like are truly some of the greatest Star Wars content we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
And like have moved me to tears and all this, that, and the other thing. But if there was a future Star Wars thing out there that somehow was able to combine the deliciousness of this scene work with that same
with the action as well.
oh my goodness. I mean, this does have
Yeah.
action in it too, obviously.
Yeah, it's just different.
which is great.
It's different stylistically.
Different stylistically,
Different.
but yeah, if we got like another Jedi situation, like where we are including like magic and the Force and all that kind of stuff, but with this kind of vibe, man, I would be creamy pants. I would I would have very happy times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far very thrilled. I gosh, what was I thinking? I had a thought. I know we talked about Cassian and Marva's scene being so sweet. I like the fact that she's there. They said something just like that, like I don't want to worry about you,
Mhm.
and they both kind of said the same thing to each other. I thought that was so kind, and
Yeah.
but then she said something afterwards I thought was really poignant, and I don't remember what it was, but
Couldn't have been that poignant.
apparently not. Oh well. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the scene. Sorry, in the scene that you were just talking about, there's a
Yeah.
line where Mothma like relates herself to Palpatine, which I thought was so cool.
Yes.
like,
she brought him up. That
fucking
was
Awesome.
interesting.
I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with that because like if you wanna learn how to beat your enemy, you gotta learn like how they fight, and she knew like how calculated Palpatine was as a senator, and then like eventually working his way up to where he was, and she's just like, bitch, I can play that game too, like I know how to do it now, I know your tricks. I mean, like, she is a smart cookie, not afraid to, well, I mean, I would say she's getting her feet dirty, but like but still able to keep her dignity, and she hasn't moved, like, well, you understand Dungeons and Dragons, like she hasn't moved her her like alignment, she's still, like, I would say lawful good.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, she's like I don't think that she's moved to like neutral good, but she's afraid of that, and I think that was like why she
That scene where she was just like, wait, this is not.
Yeah, people are gonna suffer. I mean,
People are gonna. This is gonna be bad. We don't want that.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
this is how it's
well,
gotta be.
that's how it
Unfortunately.
has to be. We have to make them afraid.
Yeah. So she's.
Ooh.
I love seeing characters because that's good writing. Seeing characters having to struggle with their alignment. I know it's if you're not a fan of D&D, it's but that's
Yeah, but you can understand what that means, even if you're, you know.
Yeah, it is it's very interesting to watch, and I like it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Was there anything else that I was thinking about?
I don't know.
You know, I wrote this down, but I think it's a long shot, and I've already answered my question before I even asked it. But
Okay.
because I'm just excited, and I'm looking forward to the freaking Ahsoka Tano show.
Yeah.
That being said, Thrawn does exist during this time period. Like,
Indeed.
I don't think that he's going to show up because I feel like it would just make the show too busy, and it would be like, wait, who's
I
this
don't. I
character?
think
He's
that
so
they're-
important, but
Yeah, I think
it would
that
be an
they're
easy thing
really
for them to do potentially.
Sure. I think that
As
one
a
of the
teaser
nice
trailer.
things about this series is that they aren't relying on
Legacy
cameos.
characters, yeah, they're
Yeah.
not. And you're
That
right.
we're-
And if it would potentially cheapen the show, and you know, and really, if, for a character as powerful and
Yeah, we don't want to
terrifying
see
as
him introduced
Thrawn.
like that. No.
yeah, if unless he becomes like a main player, then it's
Sure,
not worth
sure.
bringing him in. And I think it's probably I think we're. But yeah,
I
it's
think
interesting.
we are. I think we are going to get Thrawn. I just don't. I don't think it's in this.
It's in this.
series.
In that sense, like then we're probably there. It sounds like we're not gonna get too far up the totem pole as far as the Empire goes.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna like we've gotten like, which is really refreshing. We're seeing like the outskirts of the Empire, like, and the I mean, they're not like super low level, but they're all fairly low level.
Yeah, in the scheme of things, for sure.
Yeah. So I am curious to see how deep they get. They obviously could get much deeper, especially now that the Emperor himself is now fully aware
Is overseeing. Yeah.
of what's going on. Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah. Well, any other final thoughts about this episode before we say adieu?
I'm just excited. Next episode, I
I'm
guess. I mean,
excited.
the only thing that's like for sure, well, nothing's for sure, but I guess we'll probably see him in jail at least for some portion of the episode. As far as the other characters go, I mean, really, I do not know where this show is going, and that's so
no,
thrilling.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
No clue.
I love that.
No clue.
Love. And that's
Yeah, it's-
another testament to the writing. Like, you know, just keep them guessing. Keep them guessing until the very end. It's very fun.
Tis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job,
well,
everybody.
Good job, Star Wars.
And good job, us. Good
just
job, you
talking.
out there, for listening.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
Yeah, you did the best.
Yeah, so sorry that was kind of scatterbrained and all over the place,
But it's because we're so excited.
it's just the way it happened today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Andor episode 7 announcements.
Heck yeah.
Announcements or announcement singular.
Announcement.
Announcement
Yeah,
singular.
just one. Yeah, which
Just one.
I normally
One
I'm like I kind of roll my eyes when they say the title of the episode like in the episode itself because like
Sure,
you know
sure.
it's coming, but like when she said it, I was just like, ooh, that was
Oh,
cool. Yeah, she's
okay.
like, well, then what was it? An announcement. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
All right.
nice.
Okay. That was cool. I'm not mad.
Not mad about it.
Not mad. Yeah. So can't wait for next week.
Yep.
Hope you all are enjoying Andor as much as we are.
Yeah, stay tuned for more
And
content.
Stay tuned. This is Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom.
Yeah, we're on
I'm Alyssa
Instagram.
Simmons. Yes, we're on Instagram at Inside the Tauntaun.
Don't forget
At
about it.
Inside the Tauntaun. Follow us on there.
Do it.
or on YouTube, wherever you like.
I talk about it. Talk about things.
Yep. Indeed, we do. Okay. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
You are. I'm
I am.
Daniel
Who are
Dawson.
you? Oh, you are?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Okay. Well, may the force be with you.
Always.
Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.